Original starters on the floor for both teams. Central will inbound the ball. South playing man-to-man.
South is extending the man a little bit so that they're pressuring beyond the three. They're going to make Central make some decisions from the perimeter.
Buford missed her first shot of the half. Taylor Hill spins around. And if that were anybody else, it would surprise me, but when it's Taylor Hill, it's business as usual.
But you notice what was going on in the lane? South had the defense spread out a little bit.
Hill with 15 points, and now she gets a steal. She's got a 2-on-2. Weaves around Buford. Now she has 17. Willie Taylor calls timeout off the bat.
That's exactly what South needed to do, is become a little more aggressive and a little more up-tempo. It's an 11-point lead, the largest lead they've had for the game. If you're Central, you got to start thinking about the passes that you're making. That's something that South didn't do in the first half, was pressure Central on the perimeter and beyond, and it's causing Central to make some immature mistakes.
Now, how will a match between St. Paul Central, the 24th ranked team in the nation, third in the state, how will that prepare them for their tough sectional matchup?
For South or Central?
For South.
How will this? South needs to understand, and I said this time and time again, they have to play a complete game. Against Hopkins, they did not play a start-to-finish game. Against Central the last time out, and you'll agree with me, they did not play a start-to-finish game. They played a stuttered game. And again, in the first half, they didn't play a complete first half, but they're out ready to play the second half, and if they can play a complete second half from start to finish, this will be a 50-point game.
You got to play all 36 minutes.
And that's something South hasn't had the opportunity to do. They play in a weak conference in the Minneapolis City. Granted, there's a couple of decent teams in North, Southwest, and Roosevelt, but nowhere near the competition that they're going to see at the state tournament level.
Howard, that's the fourth time she has converted a miss into points, and she now breaks double digits with 11. St. Paul Central also in that same dilemma, playing in a weak St. Paul City conference, although Johnson was a much improved team this year, gave Central a run for their money in their first meeting.
Yeah, what happened in the second meeting?
Central was serious about that. Smith, she's on the line, too strong. Kearney with the rebound, no good. Central will get possession. More specifically, in that second meeting, Central blew away Johnson by about 50 points.
And that's what happens when you play a complete game. Don't worry about your opponent. You worry about what your team's doing.
I know that's the concern among some Centennial fans and speculation by Willie Taylor that they might get knocked out because they play in a weak conference. Howard drains the 15-footer.
Boy, I don't know. Howard seems pretty focused to me.
Howard with 13. I don't know if she'll eclipse 1,000 today, but she wants it. And again, Central forces another turnover.
This is something that Central needs to do a few more times.
They're down by 7. They came out of the timeout a lot calmer. Buford, mid-range shot, swish.
And that's something that's missing from basketball, both the men's and women's levels, that mid-range shot.
Okay.
I think coaches are more to blame than anything else.
Okay, according to Tony Geer, the three-point line is to blame. Kiana Johnson to Howard. Goes with a hot hand. She can't get it to fall. Georgie Jones draws a foul.
South got out to an 11-point lead, and it's been nothing but Central on a 6-0 run since then, since the timeout. Central has calmed down, as you said earlier.
The foul is on Amisha Kearney, her second. Fouling, not much of an issue for either team. The only player with 3 fouls, as Jones makes her first, is Sienna West. West her second, and Holmes with the rebound. Central double teams Holmes, and they've got an open look to the basket. De'Ara Taylor with the finish.
3 Central players finishing that off and not 1 South player in the picture.
Taylor, third Central player to break double digits with 10. And after being down as much as 11, Central has gone on a 9-0 run. And they're slowly bringing the fans back into it. Hill couldn't use the screen. Central playing man. And Hill escapes with the foul.
That foul is going to be on Jones. She was just a half step late.
Her second personal. The interesting thing in this game is that until Taylor Hill went on a flurry there to start the second half, there wasn't a dominant score in the game.
And that's going to be to Central's advantage.
Hill to Smith. Smith under pressure, goes to Kearney from the corner. Air ball. South will keep possession.
Georgie Jones was just as surprised as everybody else that that ball didn't reach the rim.
And Kearney quickly finds Hammock, and she knows what to do. Hammock has 4 points.
That's a touchy foul.
It goes against Ephesian Holmes. That is her third personal. You don't want to get her in trouble. She has 8 points. It's been a solid force all year for the Tigers.
Central has pulled within 1 once and 2 a couple of times. Most recently, the 2 has been 43-45. Let's see if they can cut it down again.
Johnson looking to cut it to 1. No good. Rebound by Taylor, no good. South will get possession.
Hammock blocked the second shot.
Sienna West replacing Kiana Johnson. Seems it all game, it seems, as soon as Central gets within striking distance, they cannot get beyond the hill for, no pun intended. Buford.
Well, that does nothing but build up the Minutemen confidence. When you can reach in and knock the pass away like that, if you do that 3 or 4 more times, South will start questioning their passes. They won't be as sharp, and you're actually going to get in there and get a few.
There's still a lot of time left. This game is by no means over. Holmes, long 2. No good. Buford with the rebound. And now she's got Taylor. It's a 1-on-2. And she finishes again. 12 points for Taylor.
2-point lead. Get a stop in a basket, and suddenly the Central fans and players will have momentum.
Central in the matchup zone. Hill.
Followed by Buford. You got to play that tight, but you got to get that half step so you can get in front of her. You can't ride her down.
Megan Howard stepping out. Brittany Dorsey stepping in. The foul is Buford's second. And for fans and scouters alike, it's been a little easier to keep track of fouls and points. Central, as Ephesian Holmes drives inside, short. Central got a new scoreboard this year. Taylor to Dorsey, just outside the paint, in and out. Jones with the rebound, but Hammock is there to disrupt the shot, and Taisha Smith picks up the rebound. Out to Kearney for 3. No good.
Hammock's going to be called away from the ball on the rebounding foul. But Smith, right, number 11?
Yes.
When she came over here and did the crossover dribble, there was a slight hesitation in her speed, but she kept that momentum going. Excellent job by Smith.
The foul is Hammock's third, and now South has 2 players sitting at 3 fouls.
South has a deep enough bench not to worry too much about it.
We've seen that this year.
This is a key possession for Central. This is like the 5th time you've been within 2. You absolutely need to score on this.
Howard, no good. Jones, that was Taylor with the rebound. And just as you say that, De'Ara Taylor ties up the game.
It's been a long time since South has been in a game in the second half.
Smith spins around, loses the ball to Howard. Central has a chance to take the lead. They have not done that at all in this game. De'Ara Taylor, if she's going to do that, she'll have to do it from the free throw line. The foul is on Amisha Kearney. That is her 3rd. And South will call timeouts. They haven't been in this situation too much this season.
We have to come together as a team. I mean, we have team chemistry right now, but we have to stay focused and know that people are out to get us and we have a target on our back. Even though Central won state last year, people are still targeting us as a team and certain players on our team. So I think that if we stay together as a team and continue to work hard, then we should be fine.
We just have to stay focused and want to win and want to believe in ourselves and just take it strong and don't take any team for granted. I think we kind of took Hopkins for granted, but I'm sure that we'll be able to step up our game and come out strong and just play hard.
We just got to work as a team and step our defense up a little bit and just crack down on our offense.
First, we need to come together as a team. Second, we need to work as a team on the court because it's kind of separated right now. And third, we just need to all work hard and do our jobs and not be so focused on other things.
We have to learn how to communicate on the court. There's a lot of miscommunication and people not understanding, like going through our plays and people making mistakes and messing up. We have to learn how to not make the same mistakes over and over.
South, they might want to go back to what they did in the first half where they kept Central at bay.
Well, I want to get to something that I pointed out earlier. And as a coach, you cannot be unhappy with an aggressive foul. And that's what's going on with South. All their fouls have been reasonably aggressive. Emil is not that unhappy with the fouls. He's unhappy that there's the amount of fouls, but he's not unhappy with the type of fouls.
And as we were talking, Central took their first lead of the game. 48-47. Thank you for putting me on the spot. I don't get that too often. It'll train me to be a little bit sharper for the next game.
We'll do it more often.
Well,
something for the fans to look forward to.
Taylor Hill will be called for the charge.
If you get a chance to watch Emil on the sideline here, you see that. See, most coaches would be upset that a call like that gets made because that was a bang-bang play. But Emil understands that you're being aggressive, and I want you to be aggressive as a player. I'm not going to be upset with something like that. I'm going to keep you even keel and get you back into the game. And as such, his players are focused on this end and cause Central to make a turnover.
And I think that's South's biggest asset as they are coming with, as now they're looking at a 1-point deficit. They screw up as Taylor Hill, her shot is an air ball. South has the ability this year where if they make a mistake, they don't make a big deal about it. They forget about it, go on to the next play.
And a lot of players don't do that.
Jones to Howard. Long two. Doesn't go this time. Taylor Hill with the rebound. And she can't handle Buford. Buford, spinorama! The lead is now 3. Buford at 13 points. Central using more press, attacking South from all ends of the court. They have found an answer to Minneapolis South midway through the second half. Smith, long two, doesn't fall. Holmes with the board. She'll drive inside. Count it!
What's the one thing that Georgie Jones did as South drove the lane that she has not done the whole game?
Push it off the ground.
She came off the floor, exactly. If she had stayed on the ground, she probably still would have gotten the foul, but she probably would have had better focus on the shot and been able to block it.
Holmes cannot complete the three-point play, but Smith is there with the steal inside to Hill. You know what she's going to do. It's 51-50, Minneapolis South. We've got a dogfight. Buford to Howard. Howard responds on the other end. Central takes the lead back.
Very few players use the glass as well as Howard is using it this game.
Howard with 15 points. Smith to Holmes. Holmes goes again, draws a foul again.
We talked earlier about what does South need to do to get Central out of the lane situation that they have. And we said that, or I said that they need to spread Central out a little bit more. And that's exactly what happened. So when they drove the lane, it forces Central to react a little bit differently.
One of the keys to the game, Emil Jihad told me, was for South to attack the basket as Holmes makes her first. And that seems to be working. That's where Central gets a little bit iffy in how to answer the attack. Georgie Jones out. Robinson Ricks back in.
Jones and Buford both out.
Sienna West stepped in, replacing Kiara Buford. Holmes makes both free throws. And the fans getting what they came to see.
See how much more patient Central was on that full court pressure than when they opened up the half?
Johnson nearly got pickpocketed by Smith, but they're not in a hurry. They know there's a lot of time left. Sienna West picks it up. No backcourt violation is called. South got a touch on it, and Central will reset. And
that's
Johnson,
a great call by the official, and that's fantastic defense by Smith. Knowing that Johnson's not going to hurt her way out there, she came back just a little bit, but she was close enough to react on anything, and that caused Johnson to travel because she wanted to hesitate a little bit to put a move on Smith.
Smith to Hill. Hill finds an open Ephesian Holmes, switch. The lead is back to 3. Holmes with 14 points. Buford, shot was blocked by Hill. It's a one-on-one. Here comes Taisha Smith. Moves away around Johnson and will go to the line.
I can't be too upset with that foul from Johnson, but if I'm going to be upset, I want to be upset because Johnson just turned her body and played Ole defense and reached in. She could have slid down and had position and done the same, had the same results with the possibility of being there first and getting the charge.
Smith at the free throw line makes her first. Here's a fact from Trivia Land. There's a special occasion going on for Taisha Smith. You know what that is?
Happy birthday?
It is. It's her happy birthday. Taisha Smith turned 16 today.
From out of nowhere, Tony comes up with the answer to the trivia. Onika Craven, one of my staff members for Community Hoops, sitting next to me going, I don't know how you came up with that.
Smith makes both. Well, I said occasion. That might have been a hint for fans out there.
It could have been a driver's license thing. Who knows?
Yeah, she's turned 16 today. She's eligible for a driver's license.
Getting back to at hand here.
Jones, no good. Central will keep possession. 7:49 to go in the second, and South up by 5 again. But Central's been in the situation and they've had the lead, so I don't think they're going to be intimidated this time. They're taking their time to execute. Taylor with the shot, no good. And Kearney worked away out of double coverage. Hill on the fast transition game, and one.
That is why Taylor Hill is one of the most sought-after guards in the state.
I think every top 25 program has scouted her.
You think?
That was somewhat rhetorical. As Hill completes a three-point play. The question for Hill hasn't been what schools have scouted her. The question for her will be, where will she go?
22 points for Hill. No other player on the floor with double digits for South.
And she has been a big factor as Johnson gets her first basket of the game. Hill is a big factor with South's 6-point lead. Smith, traveling violation.
What kind of step was that?
Elephant step.
There you go. All right, enough with the comic relief.
Well, and for fans who don't know what the elephant step means, what does it mean?
Basically, you're putting the ball out in front of you with the arms extended, and you swing the ball, and you move your feet inappropriately. It's kind of like Ole defense, it's Ole offense.
Smith on the recovery, but Taylor with the block. Goes right to Sadaka Jihad, and Smith finally breaks double digits. The birthday girl with 11.
Bang, bang, bang play. Did you see the sharp passes, and they were only 3 feet away for all the South players?
And Smith comes in with another steal. The South fans are loving it.
South is going to take their time offensively, and next time Central gets the ball, they're going to call a timeout, and there it is.
South again with a 10-point lead. Holmes with 16 points.
I think that we just got to be able to all just reestablish our roles on the team and know what we all can contribute. I think that we just got to play hard, play together, be smart, and be positive is the main thing. We just got to stay positive and work hard. We got to have a strive to get to the top and just work hard and stay positive.
Roles. Everyone has to know their role on this team, and we have to do what Coach tells us because Coach knows best.
I think that we just need to work really hard and not become lazy, and just we can't just let people think that we're just going to lose and stuff. We have to play hard all the time.
We just have to stay focused and work hard in practice and execute in the games.
And Taylor moves the ball up court, nearly loses the ball, and we've got a foul. Well, Taylor escapes, as I was about to say. The one thing basketball fans wanted and didn't get this year was a match between Centennial and South.
If Taylor can understand how to see the floor and be smart on the floor, she will be a top 5 pick in the nation next year.
De'Ara Taylor, recruited by most of the Big Ten this season. Jones draws the foul. She goes back to the free throw line. The foul is on Takoya Hammock. That is her 4th. One more and she's out.
That's going to be a big break for Central as they try to force the ball inside. Now South is going to have to be a little more aggressive on the inside play because Hammock is not going to be there to block the shots.
Jones misses her first, and Takoya Hammock stepping out, Europe guy stepping in, Megan Howard back in. for St. Paul Central. Brittany Dorsey comes in. Taylor and Kiana Johnson will take a seat. Jones gets the back end. The lead is 9, but with 6 minutes to go, that's an eternity. Holmes for 3. In and out. Guy with the rebound. She can't get it to fall. Megan Howard draws the rebound and the foul. South out of fouls to give, so Howard will go to the line for a 1-on-1 situation.
Once again, one of the biggest differences between this game and the last time they met 3 weeks ago, Central is no longer intimidated. Central has proven to themselves that they can play with this team. All Central needs to do now is fix the dummy mistakes, and that's not be as intimidated by the press or surprised when it comes out, and make sharp, crisp passes. That's what put them down by 11 earlier. That's what's put them down by 10 here, is they've reacted poorly to the press. Once they get that down, being a top 3 team in the state, they'll be able to compete with the top 2, Centennial and South.
And just as you say that, Buford turns a 1 of 2 for Megan Howard at the free throw line to a 3-point play. And the lead is back to 6. Central trying some aggressiveness of their own, and it nearly works.
West was right there to snag the ball away from the South player as she tried to turn around to dribble out of trouble, and then she knocked it out of bounds.
But alluding to what you said earlier, Central, no intimidation in the second half. Continuing the matchup zone.
No, this is a straight man.
You're right, it is.
See how wide open that lane is? They're ready to drive. It's not packed in.
And Taylor Hill, she saw the opening and brings it home. Buford will go to the line. The foul is on Taisha Smith. Her second personal. And Central's best free throw shooter at the line. Transition game being a little more problematic for South in the last couple of minutes. Buford makes her first. One of 4 today from the free throw line. And as Hill picks up the board, she draws the foul. Central's out of fouls to give. And Hill will be going to the free throw line.
Megan Howard got that foul because she was being aggressive and she left the floor. Willie Taylor pulls her over, and first thing out of Megan's mouth was, "I know what I did wrong. Thank you for letting me know, Coach."
I know you mentioned to this off broadcast, but should these 2 teams play each other again in the state tournaments, you said that one team would not win all 3 games.
And you laughed at me, and you see how this game's being played out. Now you wouldn't be surprised, would you?
No. South will keep possession as Hill was 1 of 2. Free throws, a bit of an issue today for both teams. The sharpshooters from the line having some trouble today. Of course, as you mentioned, they're teenagers. They're still learning the game. Hill nearly gets a steal, but Taisha Smith picks it up. Traveling violation.
Holmes did the right thing. She tried to put the ball on the floor to dribble, but she had moved her feet before that, and the referee busted her.
We'll see if Central can take advantage. South playing man-to-man. Johnson for 3. Howard with the rebound. Fights back. She'll get 2 free throws this time. That will put Central in the double bonus. So it's 2 free throws automatic.
And Hammock is getting ready to check in because Emil, the South coach, realizes that they're getting killed on the boards, both offensively and defensively, and you can't afford that. 7-point game with less than 5 minutes to go. Who'd have thunk it? Except me. Nice position by Georgie Jones for the rebound. It just came up a little long. She got around Hill very easily on that position.
Hill weaves her way again. She's on fire, 27 points. And there she is with the steal. Holmes now in double coverage, gets out of it.
The one thing Central needs to do is relax just a little bit on defense and not leave the lane so open. They do need to come out and pressure the ball so that they force South to play, but they can't come out on everybody else. And that'll be Howard.
That was as clear as day. Howard will get called for the foul. Her second personal foul. And with no shot clock, as you alluded to, Central will need to get some pressure on South because South can just kill the clock with a 9-point lead.
They have the ball handlers to do it too.
Does that surprise you?
That South has the ball handlers or that they'll pull it out?
That South has ball handlers?
No, because they're an all-guard team for the most part.
We've televised 5 of their games this season, and ball control has been one of their strengths. They're up by 10 again. Hill has 29. She eclipsed her total from the first meeting when she put up 27. But unlike the first meeting, Central is still alive. Howard fights away around Hammock, a little too strong, gets her own rebound, scramble, West picks it up. Buford, pump fake, spinorama, in and out, Jones, no. West, no. And a foul is called.
That'll probably be on Howard. Yeah, she pushed with the elbows a little bit and backstepped to try to get the rebound.
You cannot like Central's execution on that possession.
You cannot be upset with the aggressiveness by Central, not being intimidated as they were in the first game. They came in here ready to play this one.
The foul is Howard's third, and Sequoia Hammock goes to the line. Missed their free throw, and there was a fight for the rebound. It goes to Buford. Buford's going to the line. And another advantage for Central. Buford gets 2 free throws, and the clock is stopped.
And that's what Central needs to do. When they get the ball, they need to be just a little smarter, but they can't be passive. They have to be aggressive to the basket.
The foul is on Smith, her third. Buford, a sharpshooter from the line this season, struggled a little bit today, but her overall shooting percentage is a big reason why the Gophers selected her to be part of their freshman recruiting, or the freshman class next year.
Buford's going to have a lot of fun on that team next year. They're going to explode. You watch.
I want to be remembered as the team that won back-to-back state championship, and that we just played as a team while doing it.
As a hard worker and part of the girls' state championship team again.
I want to be remembered as someone that was a leader on the team that, motivated the players to, go to state and a good, team player, I guess. And, good student and was part of the team going to state, I guess.
I want people to remember me as a person that was showed good leadership, really had a passion for the game and for this team, and I just want people to just know that I was happy and I enjoyed my years here, and that I enjoyed my time with the team, and I loved everyone.
I don't want anybody to say that I was selfish or a mean person. I just want everybody to say she was nice, helped me if I needed help with anything, basically like that. Especially younger kids, people that are younger than me, that look up to me.
Central fighting for the steal, and South knows it.
South chose to dribble through the pressure.
And they got away with it. Now they're going to kill some clock.
Overshooting.
Central's pressure works to perfection. And they have a chance to cut the lead even further. Megan Howard back in the game.
You're going to see a lot of offensive, defensive substitutions from Willie Taylor. If you're smart, you go after Hammock and create that fifth foul. Create a little momentum by taking one option away from South Tigers.
South using full court press now. Taylor loses the ball. Here comes Smith, one-on-one, and she overthrows Amisha Kearney.
That's got to be at least 6 times that South has overthrown a pass.
And that has kept Central alive in this game. Emil Jihad not happy with it. He's calling a timeout. We mentioned early in the broadcast, this rivalry has gone pretty deep. The last few years have been pretty exciting. We've televised the last three of the last 4 Central-South matchups, including today. In the Twin Cities game last year, Central dominated South with the help of Angel Robinson, Ebony Black. Won that one 83-62. Those two teams met at the Class 4A state championship game, where Central did more of the same to pull away with an 81-63 win, capping off an undefeated season. And then 3 weeks ago, Central got a taste of their own medicine as South cruised to a 72-52 win.
And I think cruise is the operative word there. 20 points, it wasn't even that close throughout the contest. It was just a cushion of 8 to 12 most of the time.
Kearney pickpockets the ball. Central might want to start thinking about stopping the clock. Smith went to Kearney to Holmes. They're going to play some Globetrotter ball now and run out the clock.
Well, anyone takes a shot that's not a layup on the South High Tigers is probably going to have to run some laps. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to stop the clock and you're going to get the ball back at this point. South is way too strong at their ball handling skills. Even though we've seen a lot of overshot passes, this is the type of game that South wants to play.
Howard with her 4th. John Robinson, assistant coach, calling Kiana Johnson to talk to him. And
Dancing with the coaches is leaving. Sorry, Percy.
Is that a sign that this game is over?
No, he just wants to beat the rush. That's the way Percy is.
Holmes makes both. And Central running out of steam. Hill with a steal. That just might do it. Johnson has to foul her to stop the clock.
Well, it wasn't intended foul, but it was the right thing to do.
And whatever the score is today, as it looks like South will march on to victory, the score was not as indicative of the game as it was the last time.
You know, how often do you look in the paper and you've been to the game and you think about it when you see a 20 or 30 point score and you sit there and go, and the game wasn't even that close. Well, this could very well turn out to be a 20-point game once again, but it certainly wasn't no 20-point game. This was more like a 5-point game.
For Central, it might come down to converting their short-range looks. South is up by 13. Buford to Jones. And it's nice to see that Central's still trying, even though it looks like this game is out of reach. Because they've got an easy section, but if they get back to state, they're going to have a lot of tough teams where they could face. Howard went for the steal. Just as I say that, Central still using their aggressiveness to their advantage. It may not get them a win today, but it will help prepare them for their sectional tournament.
Central is going to have the opportunity to come out of a weaker section than South. This is a fantastic opportunity. It's a fantastic game for South to get ready for sections, as you said. When they get into that first round game against whoever the 7 or 8 seed is going to be, they're going to have to actually play a full game.
Sienna West with the layup. South will keep possession. But you have to appreciate that Central isn't giving up. They're looking to scoop up the ball every chance they get.
You can't give up. There's no reason to hang your head. As far as I'm concerned, Willie Taylor, you got to feel like you accomplished something today. Not to lose the game, but your team showed that they've grown in 3 weeks.
And should these two teams play each other again, as Smith nearly lost the ball, should these two teams play each other again, how do you think the result would be?
I'm going to stick with what I said first time. There's no way one team is going to win 3 times over the other. South will not win, in my opinion, 3 times against Central in the same year.
Amisha Kearney at the line. And while we've been talking about this, if you look at the scoreboard next to Taylor Hill's number, you'll see she has put up 31 points. That is the 3rd time she has eclipsed the 30-point mark this season.
Only the 3rd?
Only the 3rd. She did that, the last time she did that was actually against Southwest, and then she had 31 in her outing against Hopkins, the only loss South has on their record. Just under a minute to play. Taylor adds 2 more.
That just indicates to you that Taylor Hill is more than a scorer, more than a flash ball handler. She's a team player and a complete player that looks at the floor. She'll only get better with time.
And Emil Jihad talked to me yesterday that when Taylor Hill sat out a couple games, he dealt with some criticism that Taylor Hill was being overzealous and looking past some of the weaker opponents, but fact is she had rolled her ankle, and that's why she didn't play against North.
Wyzetta, the likely opponent for South in the first round of sections, has just left.
With less than a minute to go, and as Ephesian Holmes adds 2 more points to her total, she has 20. Buford to Jones. No good. Howard, again, another putback. I've lost count as to how many times she's used the backboard to clean up the mess.
I'm not sure, but I think her sponsor from now on is going to be Waste Management. She just cleans up.
19 points, and with 27 seconds to go, 19 points. She could eclipse 1,000 before the game is even over. And interestingly enough, South won. We did not see Gabrielle Roberts at all in this game.
Gabrielle Roberts is a fine player. She gets a little overly aggressive, and that plays into her attitude a little bit sometimes. And I think that Gabrielle Roberts is going to be one of the key players to help South High come out of sections.
And as we've seen this season, the games where South wasn't able to use all 5 of their starters, having some bench experience will only help them as they go into tournament time. De'Ara Taylor gets a 3-pointer, and Willie Taylor calls a timeout.
The one who worked the hardest, and the one who recognized that I was a student before I was an athlete.
Top player, but I also want people to remember me as a team leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, she took control when she had to. She led her team how she needed to. She did everything that she needed to do every game. She played at her best potential.
That I was on top of things, that I wanted to, I really wanted to, do what I had to do to succeed, to go on to the next level, that I was, doing the right thing and staying in school, doing my work, getting a good GPA and getting good grades and, doing all that and, focusing in practice and playing basketball and, just doing the right thing and showing others that everything is good.
As a student, I would like to be remembered by my grades as the girl who got good grades, and as an athlete, the girl who got good grades so she could play basketball. And everyone knows me, walking down the halls, everyone knows my name, knows who I am. That girl plays basketball.
Central still fighting for the steal. Jump ball. South will keep possession.
What's the one thing that Central did not do that you sort of would expect? They didn't foul right away. They played aggressive defense. And like I said, teaching moment.
8.9 seconds. There's the foul. Again, Central not playing for the win, but preparing themselves for their section matches. And as easy as a schedule they have in that section, Willie Taylor's not going to tell you that it's a pushover, as most coaches won't.
He'll be the first one to say you have to practice, you have to prepare, and you have to go out and play the game. Nothing's given.
He was about the only person last year who did not call Central's 32-0 team the best team the state has ever seen.
Sad thing is, I have to agree with him.
We'll have to save that discussion for another time. And Taisha Smith, she knows it's in the bag, but again, South not giving up either. Neither team becoming complacent because they know it's going to get tougher from here. Buford stepped on the line, and South will move up to 25-1 on the season. Central falls to 22-4. But the score was not indicative of the performance. South with an 82-73 win, but this game was a lot closer than the last time.
Again, you hear 20, 30, 40, 50-point game, and the game wasn't that close. This game was not the spread of 9 points or whatever it was. This was truly a 1-2 possession game the whole time.